Peter from Roland, here to talk about the TB3. The TB3 is based off the TB303. TB303 was used in countless techno records and got its rebirth during the acid house phase. It's been used on many different recordings that you can hear that kind of signature squelchy filter sound. It's been recreated perfectly with the TB3. The TB3 uses ACB technology, which is called analog circuit behavior. Basically analyzes analog components down to a very, very basic level, so it emulates behavior and not just sound. So any kind of filtering, kind of glitchy, imperfect behavioral mechanics have been emulated really, really well with the TB3. The TB3 is a monophonic melody sequencer. So basically you have up to 1 to 32 steps to work with to program your own sequences that'll basically loop. So if I press play right now, I can actually hear a sequence that I've already programmed into this. So that green indicates time passing, and it's basically playing through the sequence. I have the touchpad right here, which emulates a keyboard style, so I can actually either play real time, which will basically not record anything, or I can either step or real-time record. So if I want to record over this melody line that I've already programmed, I can do that easily by hitting the real-time record. And it'll record that. It automatically quantizes to the 16 steps, but at the same time it kind of emulates that really fun hands-on programming nature of the TB303. People used to even kind of bang on the TB303 because they didn't really know how to use it. So with this touchpad, we've kind of made that level of interactivity into a new kind of box. It has hundreds of different sounds. Sorry, go down. It has over 100 sounds that you can choose from, ranging from classic acid style sounds to custom basses, leads, and sound effects. If I just use the value knob to change each sound individually, each sound has its own built-in effect that I can access with the effect knob. I can even customize the filter sound behavior by going into the envelope mod screen. Using the touchpad, I can customize that envelope shape so I can get really, really sharp attacks. Use the accent knob. Very, very hands-on. Really great way to kind of shape your sounds. Once I get a sequence that I like, I can go to another sequence by going to the pattern select button and then selecting one of the selections right here. Selecting back. I could even do a range of patterns by clicking and dragging. Or I could even specify specific patterns to go to. So it makes it really, really fun to play live, to experiment maybe chaining different patterns together, getting different types of ideas down. I have 8 banks of 8 that I can choose from. I can go back to the keyboard screen, maybe do a step recording, which will basically record one note per one step that I specify with the value knob right here. So if I wanted a different note on, say, step 6, I can go to step 6, maybe go up an octave and play like an E flat, for example. So now kind of modulates upwards a little bit. I can specify whether that's tied or not tied. Or I can even go so far as to randomize all the notes in this sequence, randomize their octaves and articulations, but maybe keep the note values the same. So if I have a melody that I really like, I can actually get some really cool and unexpected variations by holding keyboard and then pressing scatter. So I get a lot more motion that way, and something that's kind of somewhat unexpected, but at the same time I'm using a melody that I like to begin with. So if I like that, I can actually save by pressing the real-time record button that's blinking right now. To get further variation, I can go to the scatter screen, which, like all the other Air devices, will kind of chop the audio up in real time in different ways. Super hands-on. Especially with the TB3, I could just click and drag to set the depth amount, the intensity. So So it's super fun to just leave it on this screen with a melody that I really like, so all I have to do is press the touchpad to get some kind of variation. And it's super easy to sync the TB3 as well. Right now I actually have it chained to the TR8 with the TR8's MIDI output going into the MIDI input of the TB3. So if I actually hit start and stop on the TR8, the start button, it'll actually trigger the TB3 and they'll play together. The TB3 is actually running into the external inputs of the TR8, so I can actually do side chain sequencing, which is a way to kind of adjust the volumes per step on the TR8. So it's a great complement to run the TB3 through the TR8's external input, so I can get some really kind of more pumping results. Maybe go back to the keyboard screen, and from here I can actually switch between different sounds. Go to the B bank, which is really great for basses. C bank is where all the leads can be found. So it's not just a bass line generator, it's a melody line generator. It's also sound effect sequencing too if I go to the D bank. Lots of experimental sounds that you can use. Maybe change up the rhythm on the TR8. So now I have something that's completely different than what I started out with, but I'm just using two different pieces of equipment. Everything's really hands-on. I haven't even touched a menu or touched a computer. So having this level of hands-on makes music really, really fun. For me, it's a great way to kind of get outside the computer, mouse and keyboard, just kind of clicking through presets, and to get, more musical, have more of a musical approach to making music. TB3 is a great accompaniment instrument to any kind of drum machine too. Just as long as there's a MIDI clock output on any kind of device, you can sync it with it and have some kind of monophonic melody or bassline generator kind of playing along with you, and then you can also make variations based on the melodies that you like. So it's a really, really fun piece of gear. Like the other pieces of Era gear, you can use a USB cable to connect to your computer and to any kind of DAW that you're using, and set this up as its own input audio interface. So you can stream high quality 96K audio directly into your computer. This makes it really easy to use to use in a studio, or if you have an Ableton Live set or any kind of DAW set that you use live, you can use this as an input audio interface and get that audio directly into your session. So for more information, please check out rolandus.com or skidscat.com.